Now that we've learned about expected value and we've done one example, let's recap. To find the expected value, we want to take the probability, multiply it by the payout for every outcome, and then we'll add those all together. And that will give us the expected value of that problem if we were to repeat that process many, many times. So let's look at this example. The car insurance industry estimates that the probability of you having an automobile collision this year is about 0.06. Repair costs vary dramatically, but for simplicity, let's assume that the cost is an average of $4,000 after a deductible has been applied. You pay $300 this year for car insurance. Can the insurance company expect the business to be profitable? All right, we have two outcomes. The first outcome will be collision, and the second outcome will be no collision. Now let's go back in the problem and see what it says. The probability of having a collision is 0.06. Now this problem doesn't give us any other probabilities, but we know that this column here needs to add up to 1. And using complement rule, if I do 1 minus that 0.06, I will get 0.94 probability of not having an accident. All right, the next thing says that it costs an average of $4,000 to repair a car. One other thing I want to consider is we are talking about the insurance company. So now imagine you work for the insurance company. For this problem, if there is a driver that has a collision, there's a payout of $4,000. However, that driver has also already paid in $300. Every one of the customers in this problem has paid $300. Then if that driver has a collision, there's a payout of $4,000, which is a net loss for the company of $3,700. Now, for their drivers that don't have collisions, they are just going to have an income of $300 per driver for this problem. Now we can find the expected value. So we'll multiply the probability times the payout for each of these rows. So the first row will be 0.06 times negative 3,700. This is negative 222. And the second row will be 0.094 times 300. This will be 282. Then when I add these two together, negative 222 plus positive 282, we get $60. This means in the long run, the insurance company will average $60 profit per driver. The last thing on this page is a summary of the steps. So the expected value is going to be the probability of that first event times the outcome or the payout, plus the probability of event 2 times the possible outcome or payout for that event. And then we can continue on if we had more events. This problem we only have 2, but other problems will have more.